Oh no, Prada L'Homme. Is it being discontinued? What's going on?
Hey friends, Ash here with Gents. Hope that you're doing well. So one of you guys out there, shout out to you, hit me up here recently and asked me, hey, what do you think's going on with Prada L'Homme? Because I think it might be getting discontinued. I think something's going on behind the scenes potentially. What do you think? Now, Prada L'Homme is a line that's not been on my radar at all for potential discontinuation. It's a line of fragrances that I really like. I think most people really like the line, and Prada seems to be doing pretty well. So I didn't think there was any reason that they might be going bye-bye. But the email was interesting to me, and I thought, yeah, I'll check it out. I mean, maybe there's something there. We'll see. And in today's video, I'm going to go over with you guys what I found out and whether or not I think Prada L'Homme or the entire line is being discontinued. So let's jump into it and let's go over it. And guys, don't put words in my mouth, okay? Some people think that when I say, is it being discontinued? Here's what I found out, that what I'm actually saying in some super secret way is,
oh my God, it's discontinued right now.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's discontinued right now. Don't put words in my mouth. So like I said, when you guys hit me up on the good old email, European subscriber, and said, hey, it's getting harder to find these Prada L'Homme fragrances in stores. And I've noticed some funny goings on the website. Can you check it out? So first thing I want to say is that Prada L'Homme Absolute, Prada L'Homme Water Splash, these ones I think, yeah, they're probably getting the axe if they haven't already. So I'm not going to talk about those. Those are more like kind of limited editions, basically. But what we will be talking about is Prada L'Homme Low, and Prada L'Homme Intense. Now, one thing that you may or may not have noticed is that here recently, especially, Prada L'Homme has been dropping off of a number of retailers' websites. Now, that's usually not a good thing. When fragrances start dropping off of retailers, that's usually one thing that precipitates a discontinuation. So this is as of this video. Obviously, in the future, things could change. But as of this video, Prada L'Homme Intense is on basically no US retailers' websites. Like I said, usually not a good thing, because if fragrances are doing very well, then their brand wants those fragrances in retail stores so that they can be sold to customers so that they make money, and then they get more of those fragrances to replace the ones that sold, and then those sell and they make more money. You see? So if a fragrance is not in retailers at all, and we're talking about a brand like Prada or Armani or Versace or Chanel or Dior, you know, these brands that have big time cachet, if the fragrance isn't at retail stores, usually not a good thing. So Prada L'Homme Intense, that's pretty much nowhere as far as the US goes. Now, you can find it at FragranceNet, you can find it at FragranceX, but that's not the same thing. Discounters is not the same thing as retailers. So a fragrance being in stock at a discounter doesn't mean anything as far as discontinuation goes. So just keep that in mind, that gray market discounters is not the same thing as retailers. You can have fragrances that were discontinued years ago that will never pop up at a retailer, still available at some discounters. Okay, so Prada L'Homme Low up next. This one is at Macy's, so that's good, but that's pretty much it as far as retailers go. So you can find it in more places than Prada L'Homme Intense, but still not many places. That brings us to Prada L'Homme. This one you can find at a number of different retailers still in stock, so that's good. One thing though is that it's not available at Sephora anymore. Actually, none of these are, so But that in and of itself doesn't really raise enough of a red flag for me to be like, something might be going on here. But back when I first started looking into this, if you went to Prada's website, just prada.com, and this goes for the US version of Prada's website, and you looked up Prada L'Homme, they were all actually taken off the website. Now, when I say that, it wasn't fully taken off the website. You still had the little thumbnail. So if you searched L'Homme on the Prada website, it would pull up thumbnails for the different fragrances. But then if you went in to click them, it would give you a 404 error that the page had been taken off the website. So that's a huge red flag. When you have a fragrance that's being removed from its own brand's website and it's not in retailers, yeah. At that point, you would have to say, yeah, something's probably going on here. So what I did is I went ahead and got in touch with Prada. Now, the person that I was speaking with, they said, we don't have any information as to any discontinuations that are coming up. And I said, okay, that's fine. Can you let me know then why it's not in as many retail stores now, the Prada L'Homme line, and why if you check any of the fragrances on your website, it pulls up a 404 that the fragrance has been removed. Because typically if a fragrance is being taken off the website and it's not at retailers, that's not good news. And then they said, yeah, give me a second. They put me on hold. And then they came back and they said, I'm gonna have to get in touch with an internal team. Can I get back in touch with you? So they took down my information, my phone number, my email address, my name, all that stuff, and I didn't hear back from them. So that has been now, I would say a week and a half ago. I heard nothing back. Sent an email about a week ago through the contact form on the website. Haven't heard anything back from that either. So that doesn't really prove anything one way or another, but it does prove that Prada does not give a crap to give me an answer. So that's the US website. What about the European website? Well, at the same time, if you went to the European website, they also removed most of the Prada L'Homme fragrances from the website in the same way that they did from the US website, with a few exceptions. You could still pull up Absolute, for example, but it said it was sold out. And the only one that they actually had where you could pull it up on Prada's website and add it to your cart was a 150 ml size bottle of Prada L'Homme Intense. So this was the only one you could actually physically try to add to your cart, and only in that one size. Everything else was removed except for Prada L'Homme Absolute and Water Splash, which just sold out. So again, that's not great. And according to the subscriber who had reached out to me originally, who is from the Netherlands, they said that it's getting harder to find Prada L'Homme fragrances actually in retail stores as well, that they've noticed them kind of being pulled or not replenished as they've been sold. And then just over the past couple days on Prada's website, they have put everything back on there like nothing ever happened. That being said, though, when you go to Prada L'Homme Intense on their website, it does show sold out. So it actually pulls up a page now where you can see the information on the fragrance and everything. That's a step in the right direction, but you can't actually buy it. So what does this all mean? Well, potentially, absolutely nothing. It could completely be that Prada was just messing around on the back of their website and they screwed up the listings for the fragrances and left them screwed up for a couple weeks, and then went ahead and went in and fixed everything back how it should have been. That's possible. It is also possible that Prada L'Homme Intense is being discontinued, and that's why you're not seeing it at any retailers. That's why the only place you can pick it up right now in the US if you want it is at discounters. That's possible. I'm not at all saying that's 100% what's going on, but it's possible. I would say of the bunch, that Prada L'Homme seems to be the safest, the original here, because you can still find that at a bunch of different places. But on the whole, it does seem like maybe something's going on, but Prada obviously is not in any rush to tell anybody one way or the other, because they didn't ever follow up and say, yeah, we're keeping everything in stock. We're still making these. Nothing's being discontinued. They also didn't tell me, yes, they are being discontinued. They told me nothing. Yeah. So that's through the chat function, the phone, and the email. Get nothing from them. Just silence. Now, don't freak out. I'm not saying that these are definitely being discontinued or anything like that. The only reason that I even bring this up is because typically when things are discontinued, it follows a similar pattern. Fragrances will stop being sold at retailers. They will be removed from the parent company's website. They will start to be harder to find at retail stores in person as they sell out of stock and aren't replenished. And then the price will start to creep up at discounters as it's harder for them to source stock. That's typically what ends up happening. What doesn't usually happen is the brand coming out and saying, hey, that fragrance, man, the one that we really put a lot of hope into and a lot of investment. Yeah, that just didn't work out for us. We kind of failed. We sucked. Yeah, it just didn't work. We lost a lot of money. So now we're discontinuing it. That's typically not going to happen. They're not going to do that. So a lot of times what people will do is they'll say, well, the brand hasn't come out and specifically told everybody that it's discontinued. So therefore it's not discontinued. And I've talked about this in previous videos as well, but that just doesn't happen. There are people like with Midnight in Paris, for example, Van Cleef & Arpels, who right up until that stuff sold out at all discounters were still going, nah, it's not discontinued, guys. You can still find it at FragranceNet. So I'm pretty sure that we're good to go. And then it sold out and suddenly the price went, shoo, and that's all she wrote. Now, again, with this one, it's possible that there's just something else that's going on. Maybe they're having trouble, making this for some reason. They just don't have enough of it to go around. I don't know. But to me, it seems like Prada L'Homme Intense of the three is the one that looks like it's in the most trouble potentially here. Again, I don't personally know why they would do that. I think the fragrance is awesome. I think most people seem to love it, but it is maybe a little bit strange that here lately Prada has not been putting out anything new in the Prada L'Homme line. They took off all of last year, no flankers at all, and then you had Luna Rossa Ocean come out this year, and that's pretty much it. So as far as the Prada L'Homme line goes, not been a whole heck of a lot. There was Water Splash, which is kind of redundant if you own Prada L'Homme Low, and that one didn't really take off and been kind of silent since then. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit today since one of you guys had brought that to my attention, and as I looked into it, I thought to myself, yeah, there might actually be something here. Now again, thankfully, Prada L'Homme Intense is back up on Prada's website as of filming this video, and it is completely possible that here in the next few days, they get more of those in. They go ahead and put it on there where you can buy it on Prada's website, which would be awesome. That would be great. But just as of I'm filming, not at retailers and all this other bull crap, it doesn't look great. As of right now, as of this video, I don't think that these are, officially canned or anything like that. I would just keep your eyes on it. If it looks like things are trending further and further in that direction, then be aware of it. But I think as of right now that they're still good. They're still findable. It's not anything where you should freak out. Just keep an eye on it. All right, there we go. Prada L'Homme. Is it getting discontinued? Maybe, but as of right now, I don't think so. But there's some weird stuff there that you don't typically see, so just keep your eye on it. All right, guys, it's gonna do it for me. Thanks for hanging with me. Thanks for your support. Stay safe out there. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.